For this lesson, we'll be using the file called chapter2 painting.psd. It's located in the Chapter 2 Photoshop folder in the Project Files folder provided. Although many of us think about Photoshop as being a photo retouching tool, it's also a creative drawing tool in its own right. Photoshop has many different tools to help artists create new work from scratch and also to enhance existing photos, for instance, or existing paintings and turn them into really special, original artwork. Let's take a look at one of the new tools that's included with Photoshop CS5 to help turn Photoshop into a more painterly experience. First of all, let's switch to the Painting workspace. You can do that by clicking the Painting workspace here, or by choosing Window, Workspace, and then Painting. If your tools are not in a two-column mode here, you can see how it's painting down, but my brush has become unloaded with paint. I began with white, and every stroke I took, there was less and less of it. So now what I'm doing is I'm smearing out the paint that's already on the picture. Let's tell Photoshop we want it to reload the brush every time we paint. Now we can paint, but every time we paint, the paintbrush is sticky, and it's going to pick up paint every time we draw. We can tell it to clean the brush out after every stroke, and now every time we paint, we'll get the same behaviors as we begin to mix. There's lots of different options here, but let's go take a look at some of the new brushes. Scroll down and you can see a collection of brushes that are called bristle brushes. Let's pick this one here, which is a round fan with stiff, thin bristles. The next thing I'd like to do is to revert my image back to its original state, because although these strokes do have some artistic impact, they're really not very pretty. Under the File menu, choose Revert. Now we're back to our original state. Now, with this brush in hand, we can begin to turn this into some really interesting artwork. Simply start to draw some strokes. Just go ahead and fill in the petals with these strokes right here. And all I'm doing is clicking and dragging. Can you see how this is beginning to look like paint? Isn't this beautiful? I'm just following around here, doing a little work here. Just following these petals. I can go ahead and start to mess around in here a little bit. Maybe even spread them out. So you yourself can be an impressionist painter by simply clicking and dragging on some of these photographic images. Imagine what you can do with pictures of the family, or with maybe that beautiful sunset shot. Make them be bigger, make more of them. You can make them longer. You can also make them thicker, or perhaps less stiff. So you've got a lot of options here with respect to changing the brushes. And once you've made these changes, then you can save it and use it later. We'll close up the brush presets for now. Now you can see that the brush shape has changed, and I can begin to paint with that. So again, explore the paintbrushes and play with some of your favorite images to see how you can turn them into some really interesting artwork that you can not only be proud of, but you can also share with your friends and family. When you're finished exploring, go ahead and save and close this image.